been to a lot of seminars, conferences, have taken a lot of classes, and became a green building professional. I'm teaching green builders in the area, some of the stuff that I've learned. Become passionate, well, I went to the seminars and listened, and it was like, okay, this sounds good. But just because it sounds good, I wasn't convinced. So I said, let's do it, put it to practice. So we built our first energy efficient green standard home in 2008. And if you remember, that's when the economy took the tank. And I said, you know what? We're still going to build it. We had no buyer. We're just going to test it out. We took all of our resources because I believed in it, but I wanted to make sure if I was going to back this, it actually worked. So we built the home. The house today, and people have lived in it for 2 years now, the average heating, air conditioning, and hot water usage cost of that home is $24 a month. Not speculative, not given, actual bills, $24 a month. I said, you know what? It works. Did I just become passionate? Oh yeah. I understand that there's so much more to what we're doing with these houses. We can build homes that make people comfortable, good air quality. We watch the green standard. Green is getting a bad rap because there's too many things attached to it. If you say green is caring about the clients, the people that actually live there, like if you were going to bring your family in that home and live in that home that you're building for somebody, what are all the things you want to consider? You want to consider the type of paints the kids are maybe chewing on. You want to consider the air quality. You want to consider a lot of the features that are in that house. Because if it's you, that's the way you want to build the house for these other people. It does cost more, but we're building something that's a high quality product. It's a high performance home. It's high quality. Average costs are 10 to 12% more than a standard building, which isn't that bad. But I have gone to many classes, and I continue my continuing education. I'm also a HERS provider. I'm a HERS resident rater. I go in, check homes, do standards, just because it's more quantitative diagnostics that I can learn about somebody's home and say, look, if you've got X amount of dollars to spend and you want to accomplish indoor air quality, you want to accomplish get rid of the draftiness, you want to accomplish several different things. I can say, here's exactly, not guessing, I can say, here's where to put the money if you want to accomplish these things through diagnostic blower doors, infrared technology, a lot of various means that we have at our disposal to tell somebody. And that's what we're trying to do here with this house. Show people that, hey, there's a way to come in and not just guess at what to do to an older home or your home. Here are the things you can do with these results guaranteed. Now, in the wall systems, what happens in an old house is people understand that these houses lasted 130 years by being very leaky. When we stripped the walls, the subsheathing had water stains all over it, not just around the windows. Water would be driven in underneath the clapboard siding, come in, get all wet. But due to this type of construction, balloon frame, you have air moving right up through the cavities of the wall, right up through the attic. They had wetting and drying that were somewhat equal. So as wet as it was getting, it was also drying. So they didn't have mold, they didn't have mildew, all right? They didn't have rot. Now, when people come in and start stuffing cavities full of insulation and stop that airflow, all right, you're not having enough drying to go with the wetting. Well, obviously we start putting vinyl sidings and new sidings on these old houses to stop the wetting. That's good, but there's always a certain amount of moisture that's moving in. The other thing that's going on is psychometrics is the ability to figure out where in that wall, if given the type of materials, the drywall, the plasters, the insulations, the thermal barriers, where in that wall, given this climate with these heat degree days, where is the condensation dew point? And if it happens to be within that wall cavity, just on the back side of the sheathing, that means on the cold days with the warm moisture in the air going out, it'll condensate, but now we've wrapped the house too tight for it to dry. So now what happens is it starts to rot. and this is a common ailment with an old house. People say, I'm going to wrap the house, kind of think of like with a swimming pool liner. I'm going to make it so tight on the outside, nothing can get in. That's okay, but nothing can get out. And as the moisture, warm, moist air from the inside of this house goes to the outside, it hits that impenetrable barrier and can't get out, it'll condensate. So that's why we have to have the right perms, the right balance in a wall system. So this thing sticks around for another 80 to 100 years, and we don't decay it just because we came in with a misconception of the building science of the wall systems.